Let me ask you something. Why do some people climb the ladder effortlessly while others get stuck their whole lives? It's not luck. It's not even talent. You're watching beyond the mind. If you're ready to see the world differently, let's begin. It's because they understand the unwritten rules of power. Rules that politicians, CEOs, and billionaires use daily but never talk about. Today, we're breaking the silence. These aren't just tips. These are laws. And if you ignore them, you'll always be a step behind. Never outshine the master. Whether it's your boss, mentor, or someone who holds the keys to your future. Making them feel overshadowed is like stepping on a landmine. You won't know the damage until it's too late. People in positions of power thrive on feeling important, respected, and irreplaceable. When you outshine them, even unintentionally, you trigger a subtle threat response. Suddenly, you're no longer the rising star. They see you as competition to be controlled or removed. The trick isn't to dim your brilliance, but to direct it wisely. Think of the sun and the moon. The sun shines brightly, commanding the day. The moon reflects that light beautifully, still powerful, but never threatening the sun's dominance. Make those above you look good, and they'll often open doors. Make them feel replaceable, and they'll make sure you never get the chance to take their spot. Never appear too perfect. Perfection, while admirable in theory, often builds distance instead of connection. We're wired to relate to struggle, flaws, and the human side of success. Someone who appears flawless can spark suspicion, jealousy, or even resentment. The truth is, real influence comes from balance, showing enough competence to inspire trust, but enough imperfection to be relatable. Look at history's great leaders, artists, and innovators. Many were deeply flawed, and yet their authenticity made them magnetic. Steve Jobs was brilliant, but also known for his temper. That complexity made him real, not untouchable. So instead of crafting a spotless image, let your humanity show. Share the challenges, laugh at your mistakes, and embrace quirks that make you relatable. People don't follow statuesque, follow humans. And humans, when real, are far more powerful than perfect illusions. Conceal your intentions. One of the quickest ways to lose power is to broadcast your every move. When people know exactly what you're planning, they can block you, copy you, or use your own strategy against you. In negotiations, life, and even friendships, the element of mystery is an advantage. Think of it like a chess game. If you announce your next 3 moves, your opponent will counter every one. Instead, control the flow of information. Share what helps your position, keep the rest guarded. This doesn't mean being dishonest, it means being selective. People should see enough to trust you, but not enough to predict you. The less they know, the more they have to guess, and guessing keeps them from interfering. Like a magician protecting the secret behind a trick, the real magic is in what's unseen. Know who you're dealing with. One of the deadliest mistakes in human interaction is assuming everyone thinks and reacts like you do. Some people are easygoing, others are hypersensitive, and some will quietly hold grudges for years. Treating everyone the same way is lazy and dangerous. Before you make a move, read the room, learn the personalities, the emotional triggers, and the underlying agendas. A joke that builds rapport with one person could destroy trust with another. Think of people like different operating systems who wouldn't run an iOS app on Android and expect it to work flawlessly. Adapt your approach. This isn't about being fake. It's about being strategic. When you understand someone's nature, you can avoid unnecessary conflict. Position your ideas effectively and protect yourself from avoidable backlash. Plan all the way to the end. Most people only think 1 or 2 moves ahead, which is why they get blindsided by challenges they never saw coming. True power comes from seeing the entire journey before you take the first step. Imagine NASA launching Apollo 11 without considering every possible variable. The mission would have been a disaster. The same applies to life. Whether you're chasing a career move, building a business, or making a personal change, anticipate the obstacles, resistance, and ripple effects. Prepare backup plans for your backup plans. This isn't overthinking, it's strategic foresight. When you've already mapped out possible outcomes, you navigate with calm and confidence, while others panic. Planning to the end doesn't guarantee success, but it dramatically increases your odds of surviving the storm and arriving where you intended. Always say less than necessary. Words are like car scythe. More you spend unnecessarily, the less value they hold. Talking too much can dilute your message, reveal too much, or make you look desperate to be understood. Silence, on the other hand, has weight. It makes people curious. It creates tension. It forces others to fill the space with information they might not have shared otherwise. Powerful leaders, skilled negotiators, and charismatic figures understand this. They speak in concise, intentional bursts, letting their presence do most of the talking. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this necessary, or am I just filling space? Say only what strengthens your position, and let the rest remain unspoken. The less you reveal, the more control you keep. Win through actions, never through argument. Most arguments are ego battles disguised as debates. You can present flawless logic, undeniable evidence, and passionate reasoning and still fail to change someone's mind. Why? Because being proven wrong feels like a personal attack, and ego always fights back. Actions bypass this resistance. They don't force someone to admit they were wrong, they let them see it for themselves. If you want to change perception, show results. If you want to earn trust, deliver on promises consistently. In relationships, in business, in leadership, actions are the proof that words can only promise. Talk persuades, but action convinces. Think as you like, but behave like others. Your private thoughts can be as bold and unconventional as you want, but in public, know how to blend in. People trust familiarity. They're more open to influence when they feel you're one of them. This doesn't mean abandoning your individuality, means being strategic about when and how you reveal it. Blend in enough to avoid triggering resistance, earn trust, and then, when the timing is right, introduce your unique perspective. Think of it like camouflage war, not changing who you are, just choosing when to reveal your true colors. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Following in the footsteps of a legend is a trap. The comparisons are constant, the expectations impossible, and the shadow unavoidable. Instead of trying to fill someone else's role, define your own. Respect their legacy, learn from it, but don't imitate it. Tim Cook didn't try to be Steve Jobs, played to his own strengths, and redefined Apple in his way. If you step into greatness, make it your own. Otherwise, you'll always be measured against someone else's standard, and, found lacking, assume formlessness. Rigidity is the enemy of survival. Once people can predict you, they can control you. Once you lock into one identity, one way of thinking, or one approach, you become easy to read and easy to defeat. The most resilient people adapt like water. They shift shape to fit the environment, flow around obstacles, and never stay in one form long enough to be targeted. Change strategies when necessary, evolve your skill set, and never get so comfortable that you stop growing. Formlessness keeps you unpredictable, and unpredictability keeps you untouchable. If any of these laws resonated, start applying them in small ways today. Influence is built in moments. Every choice, every conversation, every strategy counts. The more you practice these laws, the more natural they become. And when the world sees you moving with quiet control, they'll wonder what your secret is. You'll know it's the power of living beyond the mind.